Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Kendall Waters, and we are the A-Team. We'd like to say a special thanks to Joey for being here today. We are here to present event awareness of the St. Edward's Music Department. First, we'll have Cynthia Montemayor going over primary research, and then we'll have Jude Green go over secondary research, and then we'll have Julie Arnold for findings and conclusions, and lastly, we'll have Laura Crossley go over recommendations. Again, my name is Kendall, and I'll be going over the purpose. The purpose of our report was to research the lack of awareness of the music department and to recommend effective strategies to raise awareness of the music department and the events. Next, I'll hand it off to Cynthia with primary research.
Thank you. As Kendall stated, my name is Cynthia, and I'll be going over our primary research. The primary research goal today is to find effective strategies to raise awareness of the music department and its events. The method we've selected for primary research were surveys. Our sample size were 200 surveys, which gave us 95% confidence level. At this 95% confidence level, we feel that it represented the St. Edward's community significantly. Our surveys consisted of 9 questions that helped us identify the preferred methods of communication, locations, and times. We each distributed 40 surveys throughout our classes and campuses. Each one of us went through our surveys individually and ensured for completion. We discarded only the surveys that had 3 or more questions unanswered. Out of the 200 surveys distributed, we were able to get 185 that were completed correctly and only 15 that were considered incomplete. Once surveys were collected, each member tallied up their answers, and we had a second pair of eyes to take a look to ensure for proper accuracy. Once all the data was collected and analyzed, collected and verified, then we analyzed it. Based on our data analysis, we were able to identify our primary population. 86% of our population at St. Edward's is undergrads. Secondly, we were able to review that 33.6% of our population would like to have their communications given to them via flyers or posters, and 26% would like to be notified via social media, which consists of Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Thirdly, we were able to identify where they wanted to have the events held at. The most two popular places were Joe's and Ragsdale Lawn. Fourth and not least, we were able to identify the times, which we were able to identify that mostly everybody wants to have the events held at nighttime, which they feel that there's a little bit more free time and they're able to attend if they're aware of the locations. And now I'm going to pass it over to Jude, which will take over for secondary research.
Thank you, Cynthia. And as she just stated, I'm Jude, and I will be presenting the secondary research. Our secondary research was conducted primarily on 3 different music programs from 3 different universities. The first 2 universities were the University of Texas at Austin and Texas State University, which share the same general location as St. Edward's does. And the third university is St. Mary's University, which shares the same general location and also the same general student population size. What we found when we researched these 3 universities was that they had very attractive web pages. These web pages were solely devoted to the music department, and they also had calendars, and even better, they updated the calendars every week, and these calendars had prior events and future events. What they also did exceptionally well was integrate with the surrounding community. They had fundraisers, and they also had little cultural and holiday events, which created a strong bond with them and the community. Social media was also a really big thing that they did, and they had several social media outlets. And what our other research found was that different social media outlets have different social media target markets. Keeping awareness of events, what our research found was that the 2 best ways to keep people aware of events were emails and posters. And with that being said, I'm going to hand it over to Julie for our findings and conclusions.
Hi, I'm Julie. I'm going to be discussing our findings and conclusions. Having sampled a considerable portion of the St. Edward's community, our primary research yielded these following deductions. The first one being that a lot of the, as Jude stated earlier, a lot of the web pages of the university's music departments had calendars with their upcoming events on it. So that's definitely, I think, an important thing to have to raise awareness, as well as evites, which a lot of the universities that we researched also send out to spread the message about upcoming events as well. Also, flyers on the backs of bathroom stall doors are really good ways to make people notice the events, because you know, you sit down and you look up, then you kind of have to read it. So that's definitely, I think, going to be like a really effective measure. In addition to social media outlets like Twitter, Facebook, as we stated, maybe Pinterest, you know, just whatever outlets the audience uses regularly, Instagram. So yeah, those are our findings. And then the conclusions we drew from our primary and secondary research was that generally, while the St. Edward's community is aware of the music department, it's not aware of its events. So definitely need to do something to increase that. And as well as a lot of the community is unaware of St. Edward's Facebook page. So maybe spread the word about the music department's page on Facebook will help. As well as, like I said, social media and flyers and posters, trying to up those to increase awareness. And another conclusion we found was that a lot of students prefer to see events or shows at a Joe's Coffee Shop in Ragsdale Lawn at nighttime. So that's what we drew from our research. And now I'm going to hand it off to Laura, who's going to discuss recommendations.
As Julie said, my name is Laura. I went through our recommendations. So we based things off of our primary and secondary research. The first thing that we found was about 65% of the St. Edward's community said that they were unaware of the music department events, which is a fairly high portion of the community. So we think that the music department should focus on raising awareness of the events as opposed to the department itself, because a lot of people already know about the department. Next, about 33% of the surveyed population prefers to hear about the events through flyers and posters. So we believe that the music department should post flyers and posters in high traffic areas like the first floor of Rags, second floor of Moody, and like Julie said, in the bathroom stalls even. The next thing that we found was a very high portion of the population that was surveyed was unaware of the Facebook page that the music department has. This number came out to about 78% of the surveyed population. So we believe that the music department should try to focus on raising awareness of their Facebook page, definitely. And this could be done by students who are involved in the department and just share the page with their friends to get more likes. Next, let's see, after we do increasing awareness on Facebook, after we do increasing awareness on Facebook, you will be able to announce the events on Facebook as well. We think that will be a really great outlet to kind of raise awareness. A significant amount of people also like to hear about events through social media. That was about 26% of our surveyed population that wanted to hear through there. So social media and flyers and posters are almost equal. The next thing that we found through our secondary research is that the St. Edward's Music Department should probably focus on making a separate web page for their department itself, and try to include calendars with past and future events so people have an easy resource to try to find those things. We believe that the music department should also send out evites or online invitations to the St. Edward's community. This is something that a lot of other schools that we researched do, and it's a good way to kind of spread the word. You could do this by sending the evites to people who participate in the involvement fair and give their contact information, and those would be people who would be actively interested in participating with the program. Finally, we had that the events should definitely continue to take place in the evenings and nighttime, as that's when most people have free time to go to the events, and it was a very high proportion of the population that preferred that time. And the last thing that we had was that the events should take place on Joe's or Ragsdale lawn. Joe's is already a venue for the music department, but Ragsdale lawn would be something new. Contrary to popular belief, only about 5% of the survey population prefers to attend events in the huddle. So the Ragsdale lawn might be a good alternative for the music department. I'm going to pass it on to Cynthia so she can give our conclusion.
Thank you, Laura. And in conclusion today, Kendall was able to take care of our introduction. I was able to take care of and cover our primary research. Jude covered our secondary research. Julie covered our findings and conclusions, and Laura covered our recommendations. We do have two main recommendations for today. Number one will be to maybe move, like Laura stated, the events over to Rags Lawn and continue having them at Joe's. And second, we have our second recommendation is to focus a little bit more on our social media and flyers. Why not post those flyers on those back doors of those stalls? I'm sure a lot of people will have them and be able to see them and be able to get a lot more awareness out there. And on behalf of the ATeam, I would like to thank all of you guys for being here today, and a special thanks to Joey and Michelle for allowing us to come out here and give you guys our recommendations. And last but not least, I want to open the floor for any questions.